When I travel, I don't just pack like band-aids and stuff, I'm packing comfort. It's always good to plan ahead for emergency situations. It's always good to consider like the biome you're going to be exposed to, what animals are you potentially exposed to, even plants. It's always good to know like I'm not going to go to Australia and go through the forests without knowing the dangerous plants that I might encounter too and how to prevent something bad from happening. So all of that is really important to know too. It's good to prepare for. However, I think sometimes we can neglect those smaller things where it's not an emergency situation, you're just more so uncomfortable. I can never cover everything, but here are two things that I will always have in my first aid pack. Number one is tea. Now, whether it's my tea blend that I've made or it's one that I've purchased, there's so many different categories of tea. This is what I would do to decide if I'm gonna go somewhere that's really, really hot, like I'm going to Utah and I'm gonna be sandboarding in the desert, I would probably choose a very cooling tea blend with refrigerant herbs like hibiscus. If I were to go into a higher elevation in Montana or something, or if I'm just going to be in the mountains, I might prioritize a respiratory blend because I know that I get sensitive to those elevation changes. Something specific for like body aches might be nice too. So there's so many different ways you can go with this, but I will always have tea blends on me. Number two is honey, and those two can absolutely go hand in hand, but there are many reasons that I would carry honey with me. One is because honey can be used for burns, it can be used for wounds, it is great at carrying or acting as a vehicle for other herbs. On one hand, you might have a digestive tea, which works great on its own. On the other hand, you might have vinegar with you and you can create an oxymel, which in certain cases could also soothe the stomach. The other awesome thing about honey though is it can act as a like pre-workout fuel or just an energizer because it balances out your glucose and fructose. And then some honorable mentions would be the vinegar because you can make oxymels, you can utilize it for skin compresses, you can clean wounds with it. There are almost endless opportunities for vinegar. I would probably add cinnamon in there too because I love cinnamon in my coffee every day. It's anti-inflammatory. It can help with a sore throat. Even putting a little sprinkle in your honey. If I'm like coughing and waking up with a dry throat at nighttime, I might do that. Having these simple ingredients on hand can help make it feel more like home when you're away. Like and follow along if you enjoyed, and without further ado, do not forget that you are loved.